Okay. Okay, Victor, we are live. Hi.
Live now?
Yes.
Awesome. Ching,
Awesome. How are
what's up?
you? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Finally, I see you in person. You look so good. Like your voice is good, but
Really?
I thought your voice is much more like sometimes you hear someone's voice, right? And you
Like
have
I don't
image.
sound very Chinese.
You have this image of this person, you know.
Like I sound like a Chinese Denzel Washington. Yeah.
No. You sound very good, like a voiceover. What do you call it? Voiceover
Voiceover
actor?
artist.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? My my internet looks not very good. So hold on a second.
Oh
I'm
no.
going to. Yeah, looks a little bit funny. I see my internet.
It might change. Usually internet goes off in the beginning and then it settles.
Yeah,
It catches up to you.
yeah,
That's from what I've learned
yeah.
doing this.
Uh-huh. The problem is I try to be very good to use Ethernet. So
Yeah.
now for some reason the Ethernet. So now I think we're good. We're good, right? You can hear
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
Yeah, I
people?
hear you perfectly.
Yes? Yeah.
Yep.
So welcome so much to
Thank
my
you.
show.
Thank
Finally.
you. Excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So you're one of these few people. We have been connecting. The last time I think we saw each other on Zoom was November 2020. Was it?
Yes, that's when Andrew Yang came to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so everybody, I'm from Atlanta. My name is Victor, and that's how I met Ching for the first time. So I think that Zoom call, it was a big Zoom call for volunteers who don't live in Atlanta, who want to come to Atlanta, and basically it was just an informational thing, and you were one of them. So, and I think someone had introduced you as an awesome filmmaker, and I think I had mentioned, "Oh, are you going to
Oh,
film in Atlanta? Are you going to do some stuff?" And you said
yeah.
yes. But I think in the end, we had convinced you and everybody else not to come to Atlanta because it was at the height of the pandemic, and especially in Atlanta back then, it was just not a good place to go for everybody's safety. So we encouraged everybody to just do what you can at your home, in your case New York, and sure enough, that's what you did. You did a lot of letter writing campaign, phone calls. I mean, a lot of really good work.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so much. And you guys kicked ass.
we did. We kicked a
Congratulations.
big ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really changed the outlook of that
Yeah.
state. It was
Yeah.
very nice, satisfying to see finally.
Yeah.
So
So give us just a short description in case people don't know what we're talking about. The historically, what is it Georgia's like? And then you
so
flipped. Yeah.
historically, Georgia has always been a red state, um, Republican heavy, and a lot of it has to do with the past of how the elections are done, and mostly for a person that's African American. Um, they would always feel they don't have a fair chance to get elected or to showcase themselves out there. So it was very. In fact, I've heard. I don't know if this is true, but I've heard stories that in the '60s they purposely did that so that no African American can ever win or can ever be elected. And in fact, they even had a rule where, let's say, for example, an African American was leading in points or percentages, and then the next person would be a Caucasian person, and then the next person would be the same thing. They were not necessarily give the winner. You would think, okay, the winner is the African American because he has the most percentage. Not so in Georgia. They would do a re-election, and everything is all over again. Whoever loses, so meaning the third person who's Caucasian, his points typically will go to the second winner who's Caucasian. So that person will gain all the followers and all the votes from that. How's that fair?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in the past, that's what Georgia has underhandedly been doing. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I've been reading it in articles. People tell me about it. So it's not me telling you the story. It's from what I read and from what I was told. So with this one, we're like, hey, we're going to change. We're going to change the system, and we're going to force you guys to change the system and do it correctly, because it's not fair. And, Raphael Warnock is African American, and the other guy, oh gosh, I forgot his name. He's a younger Caucasian, really good guy, but they were going in tandem.
Right.
And then Andrew Yang came down to help with Martin Luther King III to help with that campaign push to make Georgia a blue state.
Yeah.
And we kicked ass.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah. Congratulations. I mean, it's very important when we choose a president, you vote for it. But then if we don't have enough seats in the senator or house, and you cannot pass the policy.
Exactly what you said. The second thing why this is very important.
Hi, Lacey.
Is Lacey, my co-host of
Yay, Lacey.
I didn't cuss. What did I say? Did I cuss?
Yeah, we said we kicked ass.
Ass is not a cuss word. Shit is a cuss word or
no, we curse. It's okay.
You can cuss? Okay,
we can
cool.
curse. I'm not monetizing my video, so they're like ignoring me. YouTube just ignoring my videos now,
PG-13.
So I can do anything. Yeah, okay, I can curse. Yeah.
Okay. But no. What you said earlier, the second thing that was very important is the fact that we needed the two Democrats to win, and Georgia was the almost. If they would have won, it would have been a tie. And then the vice president, which is Kamala Harris, was a Democrat. She would have been a winning tie, which means the House would be the Democrat House. So that would help in a lot of policies if Biden was to pass. A lot of Andrew Yang type of policies that Biden favored would have been more favorable now, instead of the Republicans saying nope. So that's why it was very important. That's probably even more important.
Right. That's wonderful. So that's one of the victory, right? We had.
So it was very, very important, very monumental. Yeah.
So now, Victor's biography is in the description, but I'm gonna read a little bit of Victor's biography anyway. Okay, so you can check his website. Which is in the description below, and also his biography. So let me read a little bit. Victor Juhl is a writer, producer at Flash Granada in Los Angeles, but he is based in Atlanta. No, I need some.
Flash Granada. Fish grenade.
Fish grenade. Oh.
How'd you get Granada from grenade?
Sorry. I'm too old. I can't see a thing. But anyway, fish grenade. Yeah, fish grenade production.
That's my production company.
Yeah. Not Flash.
I was like, wow, what place is this? That sounds interesting. Flash Granada.
Company. It's a better company.
I know. I want to work there. Flash Granada. That's Ching's new production company, Flash Granada.
You're the CEO. Yeah. He has written screenplays for independent production companies and produced his first narrative, Hank and Jolene, a quirky romantic comedy that is currently in film festivals. We're going to see the trailer later.
Yes, you guys will be the first to see it.
Yeah, he's also the technical producer of the Rethinking Humanity podcast,
which Lacey Delane is the host.
Is in it. Yeah, Lacey is the host, and the podcast explores how we can rethink the way we do life, and new episodes and record live every Friday. Wonderful. One of the earliest young gang members, Victor was one of the leaders that began the meetups in Atlanta that helped spread the word during Andrew Yan's presidential campaign. On most nights, he has he has traded his Netflix buying what?
I traded my before Clubhouse. Typically, when I get home from work, I just chill with Netflix. I binge Netflix. I watch all the shows for like 4 or 5 hours, and then I'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
Since joining Clubhouse, now I'm on Clubhouse nonstop. I have not watched any Netflix, so I have all these shows I need to catch up on.
Yeah.
So I traded my Netflix hours for Clubhouse.
Yeah, I'm guilty, just like you. It's like I fall asleep with the Clubhouse.
Me too.
I woke up with the Clubhouse. Is Lacey on Clubhouse?
Yes, I forced her to join Clubhouse.
Converted her?
I forced her to join Clubhouse, yeah.
That's funny. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. So we can talk about Clubhouse later. Yeah. Although they're not paying us for that. So
Darn it, I quit. I'm leaving.
Yeah. So anyway, Victor, so wonderful to see you finally, to meet you. And thank you for coming to my Clubhouse. It's called iPhone Video Production to help us.
The best club in Clubhouse besides Rethinking Humanity Club. We're even. We're even. We're the two best clubs on Clubhouse. Rethinking Humanity and smartphone film production.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, I need your voice. So so wonderful. We support each other. We learn from each other. And so now, Victor, tell me a little bit about your background, please.
Wow, background, huh?
Where were you born? Where were you born?
When or where?
Where?
Or both. I'll shock you if I tell you when I was born. But where? I was actually born in Motown. I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, so you're not Chinese born. Goodbye. No, just kidding.
No, I'm a full-on Asian American, born, ABC, born in Detroit, Michigan. Yeah. Wow. But then, I only lived there for about 2 or 3 years, and then my family immediately moved to Taiwan. So we lived in Taiwan for a couple of years, and then Hong Kong for a couple of years, and then the Philippines. Yeah, I lived all over the world, and then we finally came back to the U.S. saying, U.S. better opportunities. So we lived in L.A. for the rest of our time, and then I moved to Atlanta when I got older. So
I see.
So that's a quick globe-trotting history of my life.
Yeah. So what is this writing career or doing, filming or producing? Where does that come from? Like in your, development?
So my dad, the reason why we traveled a lot, because my dad was a missionary. So he traveled the world a lot, especially the Asian countries like China, Philippines, Taiwan, Korea, doing missionary work. So half the time I would travel with him because I had to. But he was always interested. My dad was different in that he was always interested in the movies. So he'll use a lot of short films. A lot of people would just use pamphlets back then, in the 60s or 70s, they used pamphlets. Boring. My dad would bring film, and people loved film. They loved media. Mm-hmm. So I was really into that because I would watch my dad, edit, do his film, and I would see him do that stuff. He loved movie stars back then. I mean, he loved John Wayne, actors like John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart, all those people. So we would always watch old movies, a lot of John Wayne movies. So I was brought up in that type of a life where my family loved movies. However, like most Asian parents, they didn't want me to be in movies. They said, no, lawyer, doctor, electrical engineer. That's it. Those are only 3 choices you have. In college, after graduate college, doctor, lawyer, electrical engineer.
Yeah.
No film.
Yeah, you're gonna be, you'll not be able to pay your mortgage if you're a filmmaker.
Yeah. But inside, I always had a creative mind. But I did listen to my parents. I actually didn't do all 3. I actually had graduated college with a business major. I wanted to be a management consultant. because that's something I like organizing things. So I thought management consultant, being a management consultant was probably a good use of my abilities.
Yeah.
But that never happened because I wasn't smart enough to be hired by any management consultant companies.
Yeah.
And in fact, the only company that hired me, my first job was AMC Theaters.
Oh. So
I was a manager of AMC Theaters.
Oh, that's so cool.
I couldn't get any job. I couldn't get any professional job. And I needed monies. And AMC was hiring a movie theater where I used to watch movies in high school. They were hiring for managers.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need money and I love movies. Geez, so I applied and I got the job on the spot. So basically that's what I did. I managed a movie theater and got to watch every darn movie that ever came out for 6 years.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So I was always involved into movies. And even after AMC Theaters, I left and then you remember Blockbuster Video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you still, I worked for Blockbuster Videos for a couple of years. So I was always around movies. And then finally I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump into the film industry because that's where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So my first entry into film industry was as an actor. I wanted to be like, this actor. I wanted to be like Chow Yun-fat.
Oh, okay.
Chow Yun-fat. Yeah, he was my favorite actor. And I was like, I could be a young Chow Yun-fat, handsome actor, Chow Yun-fat.
Yeah.
So I did okay. I didn't do too well. I wasn't in any major movies. However, I did audition for a lot of big movies. I just didn't get it. But I was mostly in a lot of small TV roles and a lot of commercials and a lot of stage. What got me into writing was I had an audition for the movie Pearl Harbor, Michael Bay's movie, Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
And I almost got it. I got a call back. And I was one of the few to get a call back. And I was like, I got it. I got the role. I'm going to be in a Michael Bay movie. Yes, I made it. I'm going to be Chow Yun-fat. Chow Yun-fat in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
But then at the end, I didn't get it. Obviously, you saw the movie. I wasn't in it. I called my agent. I said, how come I didn't get it? I thought I got it. And he said, well, they told me you weren't Asian enough.
Oh, no.
I was like, you're kidding me. How Asian do I need to be? Look at me. I'm as Asian as I could get. I remember that day. I was so mad. I said, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna write. I'm gonna produce. I'm gonna make movies for people like me.
Yeah.
Who get the same note that's saying they're not Asian enough, they're not Chinese enough, they're not Japanese enough, or Korean enough.
Right.
Because that's just. That's just unfathomable to think that to hear that, I'm sure a lot of, you being in the film industry, you probably hear similar things that, we rather give to this person because, we're not interested in Asian creatives, Asian filmmakers or actors or anything.
Yeah.
But so that's what happened. And that's why I made a pivot into wanted to be instead of in front of the camera, I want to be behind the camera and uplift Asian talent, Asian creatives.
Right. Wow, wonderful. So now can we watch one of your
Hank and
Jolene?
Yeah.
So
tell
us,
Jolene.
Should you tell us what is the thing, or should we just watch first and you tell us? What would you like to do?
Watch first, and then I'll tell you guys.
Okay. Watch first. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go share screen. I'm going to click here. Okay. Hank and Jolie. Okay. All right. So, fasten your seatbelt. We're gonna watch a trailer for Victor's narrative piece, right?
My first narrative I produced. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay.
Oh, that's cool. That's the first time you've seen this.
Oh, yeah?
The way this is done, usually I do it.
Okay.
ねえねえ、ちょっと、今日なんかハンちゃんおかしくない？ まあ誰でもそんな日あるでしょ
You live in an unnecessary bowl. Bloody hell, there's a whole world of possibilities just waiting to be explored. But you'll never find out if you hole yourself up talking to leaves.
I don't talk to leaves. Hello.
What's this? You met someone.
I knew one day a cute young woman would come along. I'd love to sit and have coffee with her.
I don't think she drinks coffee. Hey, Boyd. I want to introduce you to someone. Yes. Yes, she is.
Oh, it's awesome. Awesome. Let me turn this wait, where do we go? Turn this off. So tell us what the heck is going on.
So this was the first narrative feature I produced, and my production company, Fish Grenade, in the past had done a lot of short films, a lot of documentary. So I told my producer partner, I said, hey, I want to do a movie, meaning I want to do a narrative. I don't want to do documentaries or short films anymore because we've done enough. Let's upgrade ourselves. Let's do a movie. You know, he says, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do Star Wars. No, just kidding. No, I said, you know what? We need to do what the Duplass brothers. You know Mark Duplass, the Duplass brothers?
No, I don't.
They're really popular in the independent film scene, meaning they've done a lot of really low budget, like one location, 3 actors type of movies. And now they have movie deals with Netflix and all that because, you know, they started from that humble beginnings. So I told my partner, I was like, hey, I want to do it like what the Duplass brothers. We're the Chinese Duplass brothers, you know, we're the Asian Duplass brothers. Let's do what they did. So I told him, I said, let's do an idea. Let's find an idea where we can use one location and maybe 3 or less actors. Very low budget. In fact, no budget. If we can find our friends to be because we have a lot of friends who are actors, you know, so easy. One location, easy. So I told them, I was like, let's look for locations first, because that will help us do the story. Because I can't just do a story and then we don't have the location, because all of my stories are like pretty wild. And he told me about this nursery that's about to be torn down. He goes, hey, I found this nursery. A friend of mine owns this nursery, you know, nursery flowers, plants, and it's about to be torn down. It's a lot of land and we can do a lot of stuff with it. What do you think? It's a perfect. We do a horror movie at this nursery. But he didn't want to do a horror movie. And in fact, he showed me an article that he read, a true story about a guy in Japan who married a cockroach. And I was like, shut up. He didn't marry a cockroach. He goes, read the article. This guy's from Japan. In fact, he's on YouTube. I was like, what? So I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy actually did marry a cockroach. He fell in love with a cockroach and married a cockroach, had a relationship with a cockroach.
Oh my God.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
But he really wanted to do this story. And at first I said no. I was like, no, that's too weird, man. It's too quirky. And plus, I hate cockroaches. I don't want to do anything because we have to do live something, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a wrangler for cockroaches. I don't want to touch cockroaches.
Yeah.
But he was very insistent that this, because my partner is a type of director who likes the kind of quirkiness of people. You know, whether it's a different romantic story. He tells me this. It's like Lars and what's that movie? Lars and the Real Girl, where it's the guy is in love with a blow up doll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a famous actor. I forgot his name. He's in La La Land, the actor. But he did a movie called Lars and the Real Girl.
Okay.
Where his girlfriend was a blow up doll.
Yeah.
And he had to convince everybody that this blow-up doll was real. And finally, at the end of the movie, people did treat the blow-up doll as real because, you know, he was that type of guy, and they finally accepted him that way. So he's like, it's like that, but with the cockroach, you know. Can we do it now? I'm like, fine, let's just do it. So here you go.
Hey,
that's a trailer you saw.
Hey, by the way, you know, some rural places of China we went, they actually they like a fry cockroach. And
I believe it. Yeah, I've been to places where they eat fried. I don't know why. Protein.
Okay, so tell me more about. So what is this clip? So you finally made a short or a feature? This
is a feature. So I didn't know how to write something like this. So we found another writer. He told me this thing. He says, Victor, you either write it for me, or if you're not going to write it, you produce it then. Mm-hmm. And I told him that I'll produce it because I can't write a story like this because I write in a genre of more action comedy, like Rush Hour or Lethal Weapon. That's my type of writing, my type of genre. You know, Star Wars, you know, stuff like that. I can't write a quirky romantic comedy with a cockroach. So, you're on mute.
Sorry.
Ching. Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
I was just telling, I have a cleaning lady here is cleaning my desk. I said, no, cleaning gentleman. I said, I'm live right now. Please be quiet. No, just kidding. Anyway. Yeah. So continue. So we found a really talented writer who loved the idea. He loved the pitch that we gave him. He says, "I want to write it." And I remember the notes we had in the meeting. By the way, I did this. This is what's possible with stuff like Zoom. I produced this. I was never on location once. I produced this whole movie all on Zoom in Atlanta. Wow. Everybody else is in LA. This was shot in LA. All the actors, all the crew, everybody in LA. Wow.
I did everything via Zoom during the pandemic. Oh, actually, right before the pandemic started.
Oh,
so
wow.
It is possible.
Awesome.
It is possible
awesome.
to make a movie.
Yeah.
You just got to be really creative about it, really smart and creative about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, because this was a movie that we were doing it ourselves, meaning we were not looking for investors or production companies.
So who wrote it anyway? Sorry, tell me the name.
The name of the guy is, I forgot his name.
What?
Hold on, let me IMDb really quick. Scott. Yeah. Scott
okay.
something. Yeah. I think Scott. Yeah.
So he wrote it.
One of the stipulations I gave was because I started off as an actor and then became a screenwriter, and you always know 120 pages or 90 pages, 120 pages, 90 pages. I told him, I was like, hey, do not worry about that because we're doing this. We are gonna produce it and direct it. I don't care if it's 50 pages, but it better be enough for an hour and a half movie. That's all I said. Mm-hmm. It needs to be enough for an hour and a half movie. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it's more than 100 pages, I'm not going to read it. It needs to be less.
Isn't it every page is 1 minute?
1 minute, yeah. So he did.
How could that be? How could one page be 1 minute? Tell me about it. How
because
could possibly be?
Well, I see what you're getting because I get the same question. It's really because when you read or when you see a scene, that scene necessarily is not what's going to be edited, what's going to be cut out. So let's say it's a whole action scene. Like I have a Kung Fu script that I wrote, and the action scene in one page is about 10 minutes on that one page. But if you edit it, it's only going to be 1 minute long on film. When
I
you
see.
translate page to film, it's just going to be 1 minute. No matter how many exposition you write on a page, it's going to be 1 minute on film when it's edited. So that's how because I've seen it done where I write something and then my director will edit it. I was like, what happened to all the dialogue I had there? He says, I cut it out because it was boring. So that's what happened. This is too much exposition, too much talking. No, action. No.
Yeah.
So that's how I understood how a page can translate to 1 minute.
I see.
And typically, more or less, it's the case. It's how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he finished the script really quickly. It was a first draft, which means I didn't care if there was any spelling errors or anything.
Yeah.
It was less than, I think, 70 pages. But I looked at it, I said, you know what? I think we can make this into an hour and a half, or even 80 minutes, which is, it needs to be a certain amount of minutes. If it's over 80 minutes, then it's good for Oscars. Like if it was could go in an Oscar, it needs to be over 80 minutes.
Oh.
So we're like, okay, let's do it. Let's shoot it. One location, less than 3 actors. We ended up having 5 actors and 2 locations, but all free. We didn't have to pay for any of these.
It's really sharp. Your image. What may I ask technically? Like what you use? What did they use to shoot?
Yeah, we used a Canon 5D.
Okay.
For it. Very hard camera to shoot with too.
Yeah, because you can zoom in, zoom out, right? You
exactly. If you notice a lot of far establishment shots, because we can't zoom in a lot, so we had to be creative. Is okay, we can't do that. Then we need to think like Akio Kurosawa, which is do a lot of big, long establishment shots. If we can't do close-ups, then we have to shoot long. To get all the story involved in it. So that's what we did. And keep in mind that we're not, as I speak, and this film is being in film festivals, we are losing money. Because all the money we spent on film festivals, film festival fee. But we said to ourselves that this being our first narratives, this is going to be our calling card. It's going to be our resume. So we're not expecting it to make money off of this film. It's going to be our calling card, so that when people see this film, they're going to contact us and say, "Hey, what do you have next? We like your work. What do you have next?"
What is a typical application fee for a film festival?
Man, my director tells me it can range from $20 to like almost $150. And I was like, forget the 150 ones, man. Where is that in Alaska? 150? They need to charge you that much?
It all depends also if you entered as a later applicant. The earlier you can apply, the cheaper it is. So I applied for some. I have to pay $100, not $150.
But, it adds up, and thank God for pandemic. You can't also go there for hotel fees and airplane travels. Right. But what if the pandemic happened? You would have to travel to some of these film festivals, right? Because you want to promote your own movie or your own documentary. In your case, that's a lot of money for a poor filmmaker that's trying to make it.
And the whole point of actually attending film festivals, 2 points, I think, if not 3 or 4. One is you want people to watch your film. Exactly. One is to make human connections. When you go to a film festival, you make human connections. Now that all the film festivals, most of them, they're online, so you lose those human connections.
Yeah, I mean, you had shared about the one video where the audience members gave you comments.
Yeah, the Toronto.
What if you were there? I mean, it would have been more special if you were there in person.
So my film, our film, the Yangon Diary, my partner Nick Riviera is there in the audience. Hi, Nick. So our film, at the very beginning, you helped to watch also the longer version, and I thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, and I applied for quite a few film festivals, and so far we got into 8 film festivals. And then I have like 11 to wait. I still have 11,
Wow.
but the notification day goes as late as November of this year.
Mhm.
So that means technically I really cannot leave the film on internet freely, let people watch,
Well, because
because
you'd be
it will,
disqualified. if you
yeah,
do.
it'll be disqualified.
Yeah.
With the and oh yeah, talking about film festival, what else is good? Yeah, I want to shout out for the film festival. One of them we won as a best feature documentary is from Toronto Documentary Film Festival. They did
that's
something really nice for us, and I asked around people. I said, do festival do that for people? They said, don't know. So you tell me. So what they did was they sent me a video. They actually made a video with our trailer at the beginning, 2 minutes, and then they had their audience feedback. So they had 8 audience made feedback on themselves and then sent to the one person, I guess, the video editor. So the video editor put it together. So this video is 13 minutes altogether. It's on my channel, Juhl Media. If you go,
I
to
have
see.
never heard of that done anywhere. That's the first I've heard.
Yeah,
So
it's really nice.
they need to do more of stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool for them to do that.
Yeah, it's really really nice because they it's like they're giving us a free promotion, you know.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that just gives you more promotion, and that's what all of us need. You know. So
Yeah.
that's the
So
best thing a
continue.
filmmaker can get is more promotion, free promotion from people.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
So what happened? How long you shot your film, the cockroach one?
So I told my director, say, hey, let's finish this in 1 month, meaning the whole complete thing, edited, final cut, 1 month. But it didn't happen that way because of the pandemic and all that, and a lot of reshots that we had to do. By that time, some of the actors had left California, moved to somewhere else. So it was difficult to get the original actors for reshoots because we talked about it in your clubhouse, how audio is very important.
Right.
Some of our audio were really bad, and we had to reshoot because the audio just messed up, and that can mess up a whole movie if audio is bad. But it took longer. It took almost probably about 7 or 8 months before we were ready. We wanted to send it to Sundance. That was our number one goal. We didn't make it actually, but anyways, good learning purpose. It didn't make Sundance, but it made every other film festival. So.
Wow, Sundance. Yeah, I didn't even apply for Sundance because the timing wasn't right.
You need to. A lot of filmmakers, when they do their film, beginning filmmakers, the Sundance is always their barometer. Is always the goal. If you can make Sundance, then it's almost like winning an Oscar almost for independent filmmakers.
Yeah,
make Sundance. Yeah.
So the general rules about applying for film festival is that, which I did not do the rules, is to pick the top 5 festivals, right? And then apply for them first.
Yes.
Because those important ones, they usually like to do world premiere. They don't like to see the film already play somewhere else.
That's exactly right.
But it's very difficult to really not only, if you're a very young filmmaker, you may not get into Sundance, but also it's like when my film was finished in January, I can't apply for Sundance because the deadline was already over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I wait till next January, that means I cannot apply for anybody else until next, whatever it is, like October. What was the deadline for Sundance?
I think it was in December, wasn't it?
December? Oh, okay. So
December,
that means if you want to nail the big one, you have to wait till their schedule, right?
Yeah.
Not your schedule, right?
Yeah. When we had finished Hank and Jolene, we had to wait for next year's Sundance, meaning there's one whole year I couldn't even show Hank and Jolene to anybody. And I had originally wanted to just put it on YouTube for free for everybody to see for free, because I could easily promote it and send it to executives or anybody for free.
Yeah.
without any stipulations. But my director says, no, I want Sundance. I want to go on a festival circuit.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Pandemic happened, so you
Yeah.
didn't get to travel anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I know. So it's tricky. Sometimes I think, you know what? Sometimes you do as the rule said, or you calculate, and sometimes you're like just like a fuck it,
that's the life of an independent filmmaker.
Yeah.
That's why it's so. You gotta
Yeah.
love it. You gotta
Yeah.
love the grind.
Yeah.
Just because you finish a film doesn't mean it's over.
Yeah.
You still have to okay, what do I show it now? Do I show it on YouTube for free or Vimeo? Or do I do the festival route? What do I do with it? How do I get distributors? You're in this game now. You're getting distributors now.
Yeah.
So and that's a long process, man. It can take years. It can take 1 or 2 years for that one movie. So definitely a learning experience, but you got to love it to stick with it.
Right. So I think, so tell us a little bit about your podcast, new journey right now.
Podcast. The reason why I started podcasting is because I found that a lot of skills I've learned in filmmaking translates easily into podcasting, except it's just audio. But everything that I've learned in filmmaking, editing, producing, promotion, it's the same thing I do with film. And podcasting is like the newest audio entertainment type of thing. So I think as filmmakers, we need to look at every aspects of entertaining. So if you're a documentarian, don't just think about, okay, I just have this one documentary and that's it. No, think about podcasting. Talk about your documentary as a podcast, or even comic books. If you know an artist, make a comic book about your documentary. Why not? So use all these tools to showcase your talent. So I've always been a believer in that, and podcasting was the next step, which was an obvious choice for me to research and to be in. And I knew that if I was to get into podcasting, I didn't necessarily want to be the host, meaning I didn't want to be the speaker, the face in front of podcast. I want to be like the creator of one, kind of like being a showrunner of a TV show. I want to create a dozen of podcasts and organize it and put it together. That was what I was mostly interested in. And during the Yang Gang days, during the Atlanta Yang Gang days, Lacey Delane, who you just saw in the chat, she was the leader of the Yang Gang, Atlanta Yang Gang.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Lacey, if you're still there, I wanted to talk to her. I want to interview her if it's okay.
I'll ask her. If she's still listening, she'll probably say yes. I'll ask her. We talk almost every day. So
yeah, I always wanted to
she would love to be interviewed by you.
Yeah, she's a hardcore young gang.
She is. Yeah, we're original OGs.
Yeah. So continue. Sorry.
What happens was Lacey later on worked for Andrew Yang in his presidential campaign as a lead for his campaign. So she left the Atlanta Yang Gang and left it to us to run. When Andrew Yang dropped out, all of a sudden everything stopped. Lacey, who was a big component of the Atlanta Yang Gang, suddenly didn't have a platform anymore. But she had a voice. I recognized that she had a voice. It may not be in politics, but she had a voice that could lead to something. And in my mind, I immediately thought, oh my gosh, she could easily do a podcast. I don't know what, but I think she should do a podcast. But it wasn't something that I would say, hey, Lacey, you should do a podcast. And she's like, oh, really? Okay. Is she really going to do it? It's like me telling you, Ching, hey, Ching, I've seen you play basketball. You should play for the NBA. Are you really going to do it? You're not going to do it, right? But if I kind of trick you into it and say, hey, Ching, check out all these videotapes of basketball, of Asian basketball players. I think you can do it. So that's the same thing with Lacey. I kind of tricked her into it, meaning I had to do a podcast myself. So I actually had an earlier podcast called Really For Real Again. It's a real podcast, had 6 episodes only, but Lacey was my first guest in it. And that's how I hooked her. It was that first podcast. And then it was after that podcast, I said, Lacey, you see what I mean? I think you're good at this. You should think about doing podcasts as well. And you know
Yeah.
what? I'll help
Yeah.
you because
Yeah.
I have all the tools
Yeah.
and we're both learning. I want to learn how to produce podcasts, and you are a good speaker. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
So she spoke to her friend Sonia, who's the other
Yeah.
co-host of Rethinking Humanity.
Yeah.
And Rethinking Humanity is a podcast about philosophy, and we talk about how we can rethink and reshape humanity. It's not much of a Yang Gang type of podcast, even though we do sometimes talk about Yang Gang. It's actually inspired by a lot of Andrew Yang's thing, because Andrew Yang inspired a lot of us being creatives.
Right.
But we don't talk, if any. In fact, I tell them, I say, hey, don't talk so much about Andrew Yang or Yang Gang, because this is a podcast for everybody. So are you trying to promote Yang? I'm talking about, I said, don't pitch Yang, and you're
This-
like showing Yang.
This damn thing costs $25. So
What?
yeah, it's like plastic, water cup. But I'm happy to give it to Andrew Yang, my number one son. I was joking like I'm his mom.
Whew, $25. That's
Mhm.
well,
So-
that's pretty.
Yen for New York. All right. So yeah. So your podcast, and how many episodes you have done so far?
We have done, let's see, we just shot our, let me see.
Should I show
we did
you?
a lot of, you did a
Should
lot
I
of,
show your website for?
yeah,
our,
show the website, rethinkinghumanity.us.
Yeah.
We did a lot of podcast episodes and also interviews and a lot of bonus episodes. So it's like a compendium of a lot of different things. But our
Yeah.
episodes is our flagship episodes.
Yeah.
I believe we have 49. Yeah, 40,
Wow.
49. Yeah.
Wow. So this is your website.
So Lacey's on the left, Sonia's on the right. So they're the
Yeah.
two hosts. I'm not actually the face of the podcast, but I'm in the background and
You're the a techie person.
I'm the tech guy,
Yeah.
behind it. So
And so you put some of the Twitter on
yeah,
there.
they're better looking than I am. That's why I'm not in the podcast.
They're prettier.
Yeah, there's a Victor. No, get Victor out of here, man. He's gonna make our numbers follower
Yeah.
count down. People are
So
gonna,
what kind of platform you use for this website, may I? Looks good.
oh, you gotta ask Lacey. Maybe when you
Lacey.
interview her, you can ask her.
Hi,
When she mentioned it to me, I've never heard of this website.
nice.
Yeah.
It's nice and clean. I like it.
Yeah. She had met a friend that had helped her doing this. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Here you go. See? Here you and Sonia and Lacey. Great. So all of you live in Atlanta?
Yes, all three of
Okay.
us are Atlanta based.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about like how did you become a Yangan, may I?
So the first time I've heard about Andrew Yang, the name, I'm very early. I've heard about him from, I don't know, Ching, if you know the Fung Brothers on YouTube. Fung Brothers, Fung. They're two Asian brothers.
Oh, I
They have a
don't know.
YouTube channel and they talk about food. That's what they like. They like food and hip hop.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
a fan of their YouTube channel. And one time
Oh.
they had Andrew on there back
Oh.
in June of 2018.
Oh,
June of 2018. This is
Yeah.
way before Joe Rogan.
yeah.
Way before Joe Rogan. And that's where I first saw Andrew Yang. And that's where I first saw him announce like he was running for president. And I was like, president of what? And president of the United States. And at first I was like, yeah, right. I didn't take him seriously because he's in the Fun Brothers. Fun Brothers talk about food and hip hop. It's the wrong place to talk about your presidency,
Yeah,
I didn't believe this guy.
Yeah.
It was
kid,
this is very early Andrew Yang. Very
new
early.
kid on the block.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, right. This Asian guy
Yeah.
is gonna run for president. Yeah,
Yeah.
good luck. Mr. Andrew Yang, whatever.
Yeah.
But
And
but
what happened?
slowly, I keep hearing his name. I keep on Facebook. People, when I'm on Facebook, I'm rarely on Facebook, but I always get the feed. It's like, oh, Victor, have you heard of Andrew Yang? I was like, yeah, I saw him on the Fun Brother. So you
Yeah.
didn't check him out. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't need to check him out. I know what he's
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
But I keep getting these. People keep asking me to check out this Andrew Yang dude.
Yeah.
Finally, I read a couple articles, and the more I read about him, the more I like, wait a second. He's not a joke, actually. I think he's serious. I think he really is serious about running for the presidency and also wanted to change policies, wanted to change things. And a lot of them I relate to that I could, the thing that really got me, I'm a father, I have a 9-year-old daughter, but the thing that got me was how he talked about his sons. There's not many presidents that would talk like that. Because, as a father, I try my best to teach my daughter to teach her about the right and wrongs of the world. I can only do so much, but I need help from other people, whether it's teachers or mentors or the president of the United States even. So to have someone like Andrew Yang, who is a father, to also look out for my daughter's back in the future, wow, that's powerful for me. It's not just the UBI or whatever. It's the fact that I feel that he's the type of guy that also will watch my daughter's back, for the future. When she grows up for the future, he also has her best interest. He's also looking out for her, people like her. And I was like, wow, this guy's for real. And it wasn't until I saw Joe Rogan's podcast, I was like, oh my gosh. Google Yang Gang, where can I join? Is there Atlanta Yang Gang? I want to join. And I was one of the first to join the Atlanta Yang Gang when it was first back in I remember I joined in February 14th, Valentine's Day. 2019.
So when you look at him, he's Asian and you're Asian, do you find that is a little bit fact for you to follow him or not?
Yes and no. I tend to always I did the same thing to Jeremy Lin, Jeremy Lin, the basketball player, where when I first saw Jeremy Lin, I was like, yeah, right. I bet he can't dunk. He actually can dunk. But I always like to make fun of Asians, except in entertainment, but in Asians in politics or in sports, because I just can't believe it, right? Because as Asians, we just can't believe when we see something like that. We're like, what? Are you a Chinese, Taiwanese, to be exact, president of the United States? No.
That's not real. That's not real.
No. A Chinese guy who can dunk, who plays for the New York Knicks? No. I can't handle that. That's too much for me.
Yeah.
So
That's
my
funny.
mind always goes into doubt. I was like, no, that's not possible. You know? But when you see them succeed, like Jeremy Lin has, and Andrew Yang has now winning for mayor, suddenly you're like, hey, anything is possible now.
Right.
So don't doubt us Asians. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
So
what Andrew Yang what made me ask me how I become Andrew Yang again?
How did you become Andrew Yang? New York Yang Gang. New York. NY, New York Yang Gang. Yeah.
I become Yang Gang. It's all
You're
Nick
New York Yang Gang, right? Nick's from New York.
It's all Nick Rivera's fault. No, just kidding.
Peter from New York, yes.
It's Peter's fault. No.
Who else from New York? Comment if you're from New York Yang Gang. I need to see you.
Shameless promotion, Nick.
Well, because you guys are important. Andrew Yang's running for mayor for New York.
So I became Andrew Yang fan is like gradually, at the first I saw his rally May 14th, 2019. That's my first dosage. I went there and then just like, I didn't know what I was looking. I just went because it's an event. My friend asked me to go. So there I met Nick and then I interviewed Nick. And after that, I went to another event 2 weeks after that. And then after that, I read the book, The War on Normal People.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. That book was very, that book had a lot to do with me saying, this guy's for real. He's for real.
That book really is great.
Yes.
It has so many detailed messages and data, and also very thoughtful writing in first person. It doesn't feel like he's preaching. It's more like he's sharing.
Or even being a politician. It feels like he's like me and you talking. It feels like he can just talk to us on a eye level. People used to say when you talk to children, you should always bend down on your one knee and be in the same level. That way children can respect you and understand you. Because
Yeah.
as adults, we always talk to children
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
right? And of course they rebel.
Like talking to a pet.
Exactly.
Like I was thinking cat. What would a cat thinking?
You know, I do the same thing with my cat. I have a cat. My cat was somewhere.
Yeah.
But I do the same thing when I'm talking to my cat. I
Yeah.
bend down to my cat's level.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, because whenever I stand up, my cat thinks I'm going to hit the cat, hit him. Which I'm not. I never hit my cat, but the cat's used to thinking that way because it's an adoptee. I adopted the cat. So maybe this past owner might have hit the cat. But so
anyway, so we talk
eye
about
level.
Yangan. So the process for me is slowly got into it. And at the beginning was just shooting events for me. And then gradually, I become more and more involved. So yeah, I talked about almost 2 hours just before I see you. There's a Chinese internet company from Toronto actually was interviewing me, talk a lot about Andrew Yang, why I supported Andrew Yang. So very interesting. So what's going on? Thank you for coming to our, by the way, promotion. Every Sunday night, 9:00, we sit in the clubhouse and talk about Andrew Yang. So people who out there, if you want to come to talk about Andrew Yang or talk about New York mayoral race, which is only 26 days before the primary.
And you guys also welcome other people who also like other mayors, not just Andrew Yang.
Yeah, we welcome all voices.
Yeah, there's no judgment here.
Yeah,
we're all just. I'm saying we as if I'm from New York.
Yeah.
You New York people, when you get together, you want to make New York a better place.
Yeah.
So whether it's Andrew Yang, whether you think it's Andrew Yang or anybody else, you're all welcomed. So
yeah. So do you have any comments about him running New York City mayor? Do you think it's a good idea? What do you think?
Lacey knows this because I told her this. I want Yang to be president. I want him to represent me. When he was down here in Atlanta, I kind of hoped that he liked Atlanta so much that he was going to move here and then he'll run for mayor for Atlanta. I cannot wait another 4 years or 8 years if he runs for president again. I want him to be president tomorrow. That's the way I think. But, if he's mayor of New York, actually when he's mayor of New York, it's going to be great. He's going to be a good beacon. He's going to be a good example of what's possible. I honestly believe that. And hopefully in a far future, maybe he's going to run for president. And then you'll see me again. You'll see me in Atlanta Yang Gang again.
Yeah,
Atlanta Yang Gang will come back.
So you should go meet Darian.
Yeah, I just heard. Yeah, we're both from Atlanta.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. I met on Clubhouse. So let's talk a little bit about Clubhouse. If someone is not on Clubhouse, tell me why they should go on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse is really cool, and I think everybody should be on it because I'm telling you guys right now, and this is a warning, there's about 40 other apps that are competing against Clubhouse. And there's one guy that's targeting us. His name is Mark Zuckerberg. When Facebook figures out how to do their own social audio app, be careful, Clubhouse.
Well, Twitter's already doing it. Twitter's already doing voice.
Twitter's already doing it, So a lot of people are doing social media as like the newest thing.
Yeah.
So I pitch it as podcasting meets Facebook, or even what's the app or where you do a video and it disappears in a couple hours? Snapchat.
Snapchat. Yeah.
Okay, because that's like Clubhouse. You say something and it disappears. You can't record it, or you get in trouble. So basically, that's what it is.
You can record.
You can record?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I go into a group, there's a little red sign says recording. But I don't know. I
wonder why that's always there.
Yeah, it means recording. And I don't know how to do that. But sometimes when someone asks me to do a session, a talk, like a guest, and I'll say, can I record? So I just record with my audio. It's more for myself to just have a record what I said, But I do not really know the real game how to do recording. But you see, you go into some rooms, there's a red thing. It's called recording.
I was wondering why that's there. Now I know. Interesting.
So I find Clubhouse is very addicting.
Yes.
It's like Victor. It's almost like virtually. Okay, you are walking in a university. Okay, and you are in the hallway, right? You walk pass by a room. They're talking about philosophy, right? And you jump in. You go in there. You sit down and you listen to it. And then if you like it, you stay longer. If you don't like it, you walk out. And then you go into another room. They're talking about filmmaking, right? And you can go in there and listen to it. And then you can leave. So it's like the hallway is so long, depending on your liking, depending who you follow. So we'll show all the rooms or clubs you can go in.
It's very tricky. Yeah, it's a tricky algorithm that I recently learned as pertaining to who you follow and what interests you. So hopefully these rooms will be more advantageous to us according to our interest, not our followers. Because I may have people I follow who are not into Yang Gang or filmmaking or something. What if there's a follower that likes pottery? I'm not into pottery, but that person is cute. I just follow this person because this person is cute. All of a sudden, my hallway is full of pottery. I said, I don't want to see any pottery stuff. I just like this one girl because she's cute. Yeah. How about this pottery?
I know.
What's the filmmaking one? What's the Bitcoin rooms?
Yeah. I have a lot of Bitcoins in my hallway. And the other day, I had people say you want making like $1 million, I'm not really interested in making $1 million.
Ooh, be careful of that. Be careful of these people. They're trying to get your money. Bitcoin should only be your own personal responsibility to get yourself. You don't need help from anybody to get Bitcoin. So.
Oh, yeah. So it's kind of weird. Yeah. But overall, I think for me, I have learned so much.
Yeah.
And I sometimes feel grateful. I met, so many great people. Sometimes I feel I'm so stupid because there's so many intelligent people.
I'm the same way. I always feel I'm the dumbest person in the room. And sometimes I say that. I say, gosh, I read, because sometimes it takes a while for them to introduce me because maybe I came in last and they go in the order.
Yeah.
So by the time it came to me, I always say this joke. I say, hey, during this hour that I've been in here, I've had a chance to read every bio and I feel like I'm the dumbest guy in the room. And everybody laughs, and I get follows. I'm like,
yeah. And then, Victor, I also sometimes I know a lot of people already, right? I have 1.9K now followers.
What? Oh my gosh.
But that's not a lot. Darian has 6.5K, so.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is sometimes I don't need to go in there always show how smart I am or how great message I can say. I go in there, I'll say, can I sing you a Chinese folk song? And I just sing a Chinese folk song.
That's funny.
And sometimes I go in there, can I play you something on my electronic violin? Yeah. So I just play and the people just love it.
Yeah. So. I mean, the good thing about Clubhouse is for networking, right? Especially if you're networking in a film community, typically when you want to network with someone, you always, and I'm guilty of this, you always look at appearance, how the person dresses or how many credits, IMDb credit that person has. That's how you judge to talk to this person rather to this other person who has no credits, but is very talented filmmaker, In Clubhouse, that takes it all away because I can't see anybody in person. I can only judge them by how they talk, what they share. The bio only can tell me so much.
Mhm.
And even when I go to the Twitter and Instagram to find out more information, it only gives me so much.
Mhm.
What I have to judge them by is by what they say,
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
share. And they
Yeah.
make me laugh.
Yeah.
If they say something that's interesting, it
Yeah.
doesn't take much to impress me.
Right.
If you say something that just makes me agree, makes me flash my mic, you're my friend. You know,
Right.
it doesn't take much.
Right.
So, and that's what Clubhouse is. I mean,
Very
it's
true.
really good for networking, for people who are afraid of networking.
Yeah, and the one thing is that I'm just make this a little less. Did you see it? I have to make it less bright. 1.9K. Did you see it?
Good grief, yeah, I see it. I see the 9. I don't see the 1. It says 0.9K. So I'm assuming that's 1.9K, not 0.9K.
Yeah, 1.9K. So now I was just thinking, there's something. So I think that you and I were talking. This is face to face and voice. It's as real as you can get. As real as you can get. But then if people always do things on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, it is just the text or pictures. But when on Clubhouse, people are talking, right? So you don't have images in front of you, just talk. I think there's something very powerful about the voice.
Exactly. It's because they don't have to worry about their appearance.
Yeah.
So they can talk like themselves. They can be naked. You wouldn't even know.
Yeah. No pants. No pants.
No pants. Naked. All naked. And you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I was in a room. I was in a room where this woman, she does her. I think she does. I don't know if she's kidding, but her club is called bathtub something. Bathtub.
Oh yeah.
Club.
Bathtub. Oh.
But the reason why she calls it that is because she literally is in a bathtub when she does her room. So she's naked. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're naked? Are you naked in there? Are you naked right now?
It's funny.
Yeah, it's one of the more popular clubs out there. So.
It's funny. I interviewed 2 actors. Those are the winners for Darian's film school.
I saw that.
And the girl would not stand up. Her lighting wasn't too good. You know what she said? She said, "Oh, I don't have my pants on. I can't stand up." That's so funny.
Yeah, so that's why Clubhouse is so great. You don't have to worry about your appearance. You can be in your bed sleeping. You can turn the lights off. You can be naked.
Yeah, but
you can be yourself. And you can be yourself.
Yeah, but I'm trying to say is there's something about the voice by itself can be very powerful, and I find myself when I talk on Clubhouse, right? I'm not looking at myself right now. I'm looking at myself, so I kind of observing the way I talk. But when I talk into the phone, I'm not looking at myself. So there is certain what do you call genuineness, like truthfulness in you can hear from people's voice. I'm not saying everybody on Clubhouse is truthful. I think there's a lot of phonies out there.
Of course, just like every other social media app, there are fakers in Facebook, fakers in Twitter, a lot of fakers in YouTube. Yeah. Just like every social, but we are smart enough to pick them out. Yeah. We're smart enough, Yeah. So, but Clubhouse is the same. There are people who like to troll people, but they're easy to pick out.
Yeah. So that's great. So tell me a little bit. We're gonna do rapid fire very quickly. Yay! Rapid fire. And what is your next or your current project?
So I'm doing quite a lot. I'm working on my 3rd documentary with my partner with Fish Grenade. I wanted to do a 2nd narrative because of the awards I'm winning with Hank and Jolene. I thought the best trajectory would be a 2nd movie. But after a long argument I had, it lasted for 2 weeks going back and forth. I lost. Finally, we said, I think the documentary is where we should do next. I'm like, okay, because the documentary is ready. So I'm working on this documentary. Hopefully it'll be done before this year is over or sooner. I'm working on it since Andrew Yang's presidential campaign. I've always had an interest of doing a biopic on him. So every day, every time when he would show up or something, or an interview or whatever articles, I'll take notes. I'll outline what I think a movie version of Andrew Yang would be. When he dropped out, suddenly I like, oh my gosh, I don't have a story, because I thought I wanted him to be president. That would have been a great ending for a movie, don't you think?
Yeah.
So when he dropped out, I was like, oh gosh, I have no story, because what would my ending be? It'll be a sad ending because he dropped out. I can't wait another 4 or 8 years if he runs again, because it wouldn't. I don't know if it'll be relevant even. And then when he announced that he was running for mayor, I was like, maybe the story's there. Maybe I had to wait for him to do this so that I could finish my outline of what my vision of an Andrew Yang movie would be. So I think I have enough that I could write a script about. I don't know where it's going to go, whether I can do it or not. But it's something I've been working on for about a year and a half. And I'm finally ready to actually write it, because I've been outlining it and envisioning it in my head. I know how the beginning is. I know how it's supposed to end, and a lot of things in between, enough to write a full script. So I'm going to start writing that. I'm also working on a TV pilot idea that I've been working on from a screenplay that I wrote, which never made it, but I'm going to turn it into a TV script. And it's basically about the jazz and dance times during the Harlem Renaissance era of the 30s and 40s. It's like The Wire, the TV show The Wire.
Wire.
It's like a popular TV show in Baltimore on HBO. One of the best TV series I've ever seen. But it's like The Wire in Harlem, basically, is what I'm pitching it as. So those are the two immediate projects I'm working on besides the documentary. And then, of course, I'm also really working on the Rethinking Humanity podcast, because I wanted to be out there. I wanted to be everywhere, in people's ears, and also in Clubhouse and all that.
Where can you announce one more time, like where can we hear your podcast, either on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Clubhouse?
So the podcast, you can listen to it on Apple Podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcast, Anchor, Spotify. So you can find it in any typical podcast platform that you usually go to listen to podcasts. Apple Podcasts being the most popular, and then maybe Spotify being second. We're on both of them. Rethinking Humanity. And if you want to watch us live, you can watch us live every Fridays on YouTube, where it goes live. So Rethinking Humanity, we have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, we're also on Clubhouse. We have a club on Clubhouse, Rethinking Humanity. That's where you can find us. If you're into philosophy and you think it's cool, then Rethinking Humanity is for you. So
great. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it, to join you guys. So now let's see. I have some announcement. First of all, thank you so much, Victor, for joining me. And we finally meet far away, but also feel very close. Thank you so much.
Zoom to Zoom.
Zoom to Zoom.
Actually, this is not Zoom. This is StreamYard, but
yeah, we use StreamYard. It's similar. I have been interviewing people since March 27 last year. Today is episode 106. 106. Damn, you are 106. Yeah. So and please keep watching us. Yeah, I wanted to tell you. I think I already told you at my iPhone production earlier. Is next week. It's a special week on Friday. Next week, I'm gonna do a special feature interviewing 4 or 5
Yes.
student movement leaders from June 4th, 1989, 32 years ago. People were crushed by the tanks, by the guns, by the Chinese government because they were protesting on Tiananmen Square. So next week, actually, there is something going on for 24 hours. It's not organized by me, organized by Humanity China. It's called. It's a humanitarian organization funded by Zhou Fengsuo, whom actually yesterday I went to interview him in his place. We talked about for 2 hours, and Zhou Fengsuo and his colleagues are organizing an event starting next Thursday morning Eastern Time, 8 a.m. They're gonna do 24 hours nonstop Clubhouse, YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom.
And what's this 24 hours? They're just going to talk or music or?
Yeah, they probably do shifts, like you cover 8 hour, you cover 8 hour, meaning it's 24 hours goes on, like nonstop. You don't do sometimes, these filmmaker groups, they're crazy. They go like, they also run 24 hours. Do you know that on Facebook?
I know one room did it for 36. I was like, wow, but then they have like 50 moderators. So
that's crazy.
I can understand they probably do take shifts.
Yeah. So I just listed here, I made a 1 minute, 2 minute video of yesterday, the Zhou Fengsuo, and it's over here in the comment section. It's the first video, okay, on my YouTube channel. Of course, Victor, our interview will be the first right now. So it will be the second video. And you can see this guy, he's calling people about next week's 24-hour event. Okay. So you guys, all you need to do is just to, show up a little bit, maybe light a candle. That's it. You don't have to, you don't have to do too much, or maybe just be aware of such thing is going on. And people still care. People do still care 32 years after that. That incident is 32 years ago. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. All right. Anything else? Yeah,
Sounds
we're good.
interesting.
We're good, right? All right. Rapid fire. Okay.
Awesome. I'm ready. I am
All
ready.
right. So you already know a lot of my questions. What's your favorite color?
Black.
Wow.
Because I'm colorblinded. I can only see black and white.
That's funny. 3 person you want to have dinner with, dead or alive. Who are they?
Oh my goodness. I didn't expect this one because there's a lot of people I like. Okay. Dead or alive? Three?
Yeah. I have
Okay.
dinner in different days, okay? Not in one day.
Okay. Bruce Lee. One of my favorite writers, C.S. Lewis. And George Lucas. Because I'm a big Star Wars nerd.
Cool.
Man, what? Bruce Lee, George Lucas, C.S. Lewis. Man, what a dinner.
They're all guys. They're all guys. What about a girl? Which girl you want to have dinner with?
My favorite actress of all time is Grace Kelly. So I think beautiful actress back in the golden age of Hollywood. I would have loved to have met her. I went backpacking and I went to Monaco because she was a princess. She became a princess of Monaco. She married Prince Rainier of Monaco. So I went to visit her and pay my respects at her gravesite. Man, most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Her gravesite and her just Monaco itself, the city. But Grace Kelly is my favorite actress, so I would have loved to have a chance to meet her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Who's your first love?
First love, like person?
Love. Yeah.
First love. First love would probably be my ex-wife. my first girlfriend
Oh,
that I ever
that's
had. And married.
unfortunate.
We're still, yeah, don't feel bad. We're still on talking terms.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it would probably be her. She was my first love.
That's so sweet. Is she
Yeah.
Chinese?
No, she's Caucasian.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. So, how many times can I ask? Like,
Have I
many
been
times-
married? Oh,
yeah. Like,
Just
how
once.
many? Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, rapid fire? You can ask me as many as you want.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I already know this question. I was going to ask you, cat person or dog person.
Cat,
Me too. Me too.
because they clean themselves. They go to their own bathroom. You know, my dogs, you know, pee,
Yeah.
shit, that's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
So big. What did you eat?
Yeah.
This is so-
Yeah.
My
Well,
cats, one place, you know,
yeah.
take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Easy.
I love cats. Yeah.
Scoop.
I have two.
Oh, 2 cats? Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have
nice,
two. Yeah. We always have cats. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So, food wise, what's your favorite genre of food?
Italian. Love
Mm.
Italian food, not Chinese food, Italian. Yeah, when I went to Rome, I went to Italy backpacking. Oh my gosh, the food there is amazing. It's so funny. I actually lost weight because I ate so much food in Thailand, but because the food is organic.
Yeah.
They're so healthy
Yeah.
that I actually lost weight and I was
Mm-hmm.
healthier, which is odd, you know, crazy. But I love Italian food.
Yeah. One thing I love. One of the things I love about Italian food is the squid pasta.
I had that. Yeah.
I cannot even find it in New
You can't.
York.
It's hard to
Yeah.
make, and I think it's also poisonous. You got to be careful making that.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Oh.
you need to know a real Italian mama that knows how to do that. A real Italian grandmother or mama that
Yeah.
knows how to do that. So,
That was so good. I had that in Rome. You know, it was so good.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So food wise, chicken, beef, or bok choy. Which one you?
Bok choy is not a meat.
No, if you have a choice of like, you know, they ask you, you know, like chicken or beef or you know, vegetable. So are you a
Bok choy.
yeah. Bok choy? Yes, bok choy. Yeah.
It's because I'm Asian, right? You had to put that because if it was an American, you'd say lettuce or something,
Yeah.
right?
Broccoli. I would say
Broccoli. Oh man.
Yeah. So what are you?
I'm a big steak eater, so it has to be beef.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Steak. Yeah. I don't
Prime rib. I get that every day.
Oh wow. But
Not
you
every day. Well,
not
but
every day.
yeah,
Yeah.
almost every week.
yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. My family likes that. I like bok choy. Oh yeah. So what's your favorite sports to watch?
Favorite sport is video gaming a sport?
No.
Esports? It's
No.
not?
No.
Oh man. I watch a lot of Twitch esport games, Call of Duty and Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like a sport. It's amazing how the esports, you know, they're in stadiums now, and they have sponsorships like NBA players do.
Mm.
But okay, if you want real sport,
Yeah.
it's basketball. I watch
Yeah.
big Lakers
Yeah.
fan.
Oh great. Yeah. So what do you play? If you play sports, what's your favorite?
And video game or sports?
No. Play sports. Real
Oh,
sports.
I play when I can basketball. I love playing pickup games with strangers.
Mm.
You know, because they see me as a Asian, probably doesn't know how to play. But man,
And then you kick ass.
I kick ass. I can't dunk, but man, I can break your ankle. Be careful.
Watch out.
I know how to dribble one pass.
Watch
so,
out, Mr. Hole.
Yeah, I don't mess with me on the basketball court.
That's funny.
And one.
Oh, by the way, in Christmas time, do they make fun of you? Ho, ho, ho.
all the time. Even my own family makes fun of me on Christmas time. My own family. Nonstop to a point where I'm used to it now.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. But it's a cheerful last name. Yeah.
Well,
so
it's a popular name in China, Ho. You know.
是怎么写的? How do
It's
you
like-
write that?
I don't know.
Do you speak Mandarin?
一点点.
一点点. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So.
后 is it a 后面的后啊? Behind 后面的后啊?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just know the characters looks like a horse. Like when you write any characters, it looks like a horse.
Oh.
Because I remember when I was a kid and I saw it written for the first time, I was like, it looks like
okay.
a horse.
Oh, okay.
Our last name looks like a horse, the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll find out. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is your musical genre? Favorite?
Specifically, I like, and I see you in this room sometimes, the Harlem late night jazz room in Clubhouse.
Yeah.
But I'm really into 1930s, 40s swing jazz music.
Oh,
Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald, Chick Webb. That type of genre era.
Yeah. And I love this saxophone player. What's his name?
John Coltrane.
No, younger. He killed himself. What's his name?
Charlie Parker.
Yeah.
Is he old? Oh, Charlie Parker. Okay.
Charlie Parker. Yeah. Charlie Parker. Yeah. So many great jazz players.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Died young. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Because of drugs, mostly because of drugs.
Yeah.
Overdose.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So let's see. Tell us a film you saw lately you really like. Maybe more specific, documentary film.
I really liked Minari. The movie Minari.
Yeah,
the Minari.
Would you saw it? Would you see?
Because I'm in SAG, so I get a lot of screeners, DVD screeners, and Minari was one of them. It's the movie that won the best supporting actress, the Korean woman that won in the Oscars. She was in this movie, but it's a very interesting movie because it's an Asian movie, and half the movie they speak in Korean, but it's set in is it Nebraska or somewhere? I forgot, like in some country land, and Arkansas or in Nebraska, somewhere in that land, like hay bill land. You would never expect any Asians to be there, but the story was so I could relate to it. And even though I live in Atlanta, but somehow I relate to the family, how they live and how they're trying to make it. They're trying to make it, and they're trying to strive for the American dream.
Yeah.
And I think whether you're Asian or you're European or whatever, you come to America for the American dream.
Yeah.
Whether it's to be a filmmaker or it's to sell vegetables, because he's a farmer. This character, Stephen Yeun, who's in The Walking Dead, he's a farmer that wants to sell his produce to these American markets in Nebraska or Arkansas or whatever. So he has to work hard, because it's a different, why did he leave Korea? He could have done this in Korea. Why come here to do it? Where you're the only Korean that's in this town.
Yeah.
But wow, incredible movie. And the cast, perfect casting, and the grandmother who won the Oscar. Oh my gosh, perfectly cast. She deserved the Oscar. So, but that's one that really like, oh wow, you can actually do a movie like that. Because you never think, because you think as a filmmaker, you're like, okay, I can only do this type of movie. But when you see something like Minari or even Nomadland, from Chloe Zhao, you're like, because it looks like a documentary, Nomadland. You're like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Just so, your room, smartphone production. There's so many, we live in a time where you can do, if you're a filmmaker, you can do anything now to tell your story. You have all these tools, whether it's your iPhone, Android, or anything, a lot of different ways to tell your story now. You don't have to follow the rules of Steven Spielberg or George Lucas or James Cameron. You don't have to follow them.
Right.
Tell your own story the way you want to tell it, to what you have at your disposal. what you have at your disposal is your smartphone.
Mhm.
I want to see your story because Minari is no Star Wars. No Man Land is not Star Wars, but I love it. I would pay $12.50 to watch that movie. I don't know how much movies are now. 'Cause of the pandemic, I haven't been in a movie theater.
Yeah, they probably charge $16.75 now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but what captured you was a story, was a
Mhm.
storytelling.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's important. It doesn't matter, and I say this in your room, in your smartphone production room,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what equipment you have.
Mhm.
It's the story that's gonna make me interested. I don't care what iPhone you have. I don't care what
Mhm.
Android you have. I don't care how much money you have. I care
Mhm.
about what story you're telling. And if you
Yeah.
can captivate me with your story, if you can scare me, make me cry, make me laugh,
Mhm.
I'm your fan. You
Yeah.
got me.
Yeah.
I'll follow you on IMDb, wherever you are. So
Well said. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, people who are with us, I just have another announcement. Is I just realized that today, Friday 28th, is the film festival called International Film Festival of Manhattan. They're showing movies all day long. So if you want to see our film, Yangon Diary, My Yangon Diary, you can go to their website, or you can just go to my Facebook. Okay, Ching Juhl Facebook. There is a link there, and you can go on there to purchase a ticket for like $10, and you can see our film.
And it's all done on an iPhone. So
Yeah.
you guys need to check it out to see what's possible. If you think, oh, I can't do a movie on an iPhone, Ching just did it. And I saw the original, which was 3.5 hours long, man. Okay, so you think
I tortured.
you thinking he can't do movies on an iPhone? Screw it. Ching did it. And he's winning awards. She's winning awards and she's getting distribution deals.
Yeah,
distribution.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So thank you. I have one more question. Actually, two more questions.
Okay,
It's a happy hour time right now. If I take you to a bar right now, what should I get you?
You should get me a Sapporo beer, because that is my beer. Sapporo.
Sapporo. Okay, that's
in
like
a can
Japanese.
still. I don't want it in a glass. That silver can, I want it in that can, because I drink it from that can.
It tastes better.
Yes, to me.
Isn't Sapporo it's a Japanese, right?
It's a Japanese beer, but I love Sapporo beer.
Oh, really?
In a can, yeah.
I quit drinking, so I
and also, if you want to be cheap, I also like Yinling beer. Yinling.
Oh, Yinling.
Also in a can, even though it's the ugliest can, but ugly green can. But I'm colorblind, but I think
it's Chinese beer.
You think it's Chinese, but it's a German beer. Yinling is a German beer. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it sounds Chinese. And at first I thought it was Chinese, but my cousin's like, no. It's German.
Oh, tricky.
Yeah, Yinling. But
Yinling
if you want to be cheap, then
Yeah,
just get me a 6-pack of Yinling and I'm happy.
Okay. I'll come to Atlanta now.
A lot of Yinling beers in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. One last question. Tea or coffee? Very simple.
I actually work part-time as a barista. So.
Oh, really?
Part-time, yeah. Because when the pandemic happened, I lost my job because they wouldn't honor, because I had to watch my daughter because she was virtual face-to-face.
Yeah.
They wouldn't honor my schedule.
I see.
So I had no choice. I had to choose my daughter's safety over this dumb job that wouldn't honor my thing. So Starbucks, where I work part-time, was the only place that will honor the hours that I needed.
Oh.
No question. Whatever I needed, they said, we understand. Whatever hours you need, we'd love to have you.
That's wonderful.
Starbucks. So say anything you want about Starbucks, but when it came time for pandemic, they pulled through for a lot of us. But I don't drink coffee. I'm a tea person, black tea. So black tea.
I love black tea.
Yeah, I have I usually go to the Chinese supermarket and I get the real black tea. the real black tea, the ones with
Yeah.
Chinese letters.
Yeah.
And they expire in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like they never expire. You're like, when does it expire? You're looking
Yeah.
for it. It's like, they never expire.
Yeah.
This is
I know
Chinese
what
people.
you're talking about. 不是普洱茶, is it 普洱 or some other, like I buy, people give it to me like a whole round, like a cake,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
very, you have to like,
Yeah, those are the
break
best
it.
teas. I go to
Yeah.
the Chinese supermarket and get the real
Yeah.
Chinese black tea. But I also have the American black teas because
Yeah.
when I'm in a hurry,
Yeah.
you know, I drink that. You know, so
Great. Well, thank you so much,
no problem.
Victor.
This is
It's
fun.
so much fun to talk to you.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
This is
So-
great.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see each other, you know.
Definitely,
person
we see each
someday.
other at Clubhouse all the time. Yeah. Clubhouse,
Yeah.
man. I spend
Clubhouse.
8 hours a day on Clubhouse.
I know.
Almost
I'm
8
worse.
hours.
I'm 10 hours.
Oh my gosh.
I beat you. No, it doesn't count because we sleep with it, you know, like when we go
So
to
you know
sleep.
my schedule. You know how I do it, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless I know I need to be there, like your room. So after work, which I usually get home at work at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, I don't watch Netflix because I told you I trade my hours for this. So I spend 4 hours from 10 to 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 to 2 p.m. until I fall asleep. And then I wake up early at like 6 a.m. and I just leave it running while I'm in bed, just like half asleep listening. Because usually that's where all the millionaires, you know, people say, become a millionaire in 2 days, you know, those type of rooms. I'm like, I want to be a millionaire in 2 days. You know how many movies I can make, you know? So I'm in those rooms. You know,
Dream, keep dreaming.
oh yeah, a lot of those soundscape, you know, you hear the waterfalls and turtles snapping, you know.
And then people like whisper. They whisper, you know. At
Oh,
night.
that lullaby room.
Yeah, lullaby.
At midnight, they have those rooms.
Yeah.
Those are cool because if you talk loud, they kick you out.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, who introduced you to Clubhouse, by the way?
Lacey and Sonia from Rethinking Humanity podcast, because
I
had
thought
heard
I
about
introduced you. I
No,
introduced
no.
so many people. I introduced Nick.
Actually,
to
no.
join.
The first person to ever announce it, and I didn't take much serious of it because when you mentioned it, I was like, Clubhouse, whatever. You know, I have too many social media to keep track of. I don't need another one. Was Boyce, Mindful Skeptics. Boyce.
Oh, Boyce is guilty.
Yang Gang Book Club had did a YouTube interview with all of us together.
I see.
And Boyce had mentioned it for the first time. And I was like, Clubhouse? What the heck is Clubhouse?
Yeah.
And he told me about it. And I'm like, I'm not interested in it. And then it wasn't until Lacey and Sonia mentioned it again. I said, you guys have an invite? You know, because you need an invite.
Yeah.
I said, I need an invite because I can't do it. I have an invite. So Sonia gave me the invite. So that's how I got it.
Cool. Yeah, cool. So I'll see you then. And thank you for being with me, and thank our audience being with us. Keep watching, keep supporting artists like us.
Yes, we're poor. My film and film festivals are making me poor. I can't afford these entrance fees.
I know. But hopefully it'll be picked up by some big shot distributors later. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So hopefully,
we'll see.
But the important thing is we keep making art, and we keep doing what we love to do, and we love what we love to do what we want to do. Whatever, something like that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right.
Support the arts.
Yeah.
Support the arts.
Support art. Support art. Yeah. And Andrew Yang. Okay.
Yes, Andrew Yang. Yang Gang.
Yang Gang.
New York Yang Gang.
Yeah. Okay. Come to
Represent.
see us. Okay. Sunday night. Okay. Bye.
See you in Clubhouse.
Sugar. Thank you, Sugar. All right. Bye. Bye, Victor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.